this person feel like this, and he go to education, he go to black and white, he goes to paperwork. But now we don't need this because we have this. Siri, Google. You can Google what is trans, what is this, what is that, what is this. Exactly. So that's my thought on it. I feel that we need to put some fire up under our ass, like the barbarian people used to do. That's how I feel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nana.
I feel as though the stank that you were referring to is what drew me in to both Kick, Black Pride Society, and Hotter Than July. I was very wet behind the ears. We had Kimberly, Charlene, Walter, Curtis, John, and whatever they saw in me at the time, I'd never done any community organizing of that magnitude. Had never put together any performance platforms for the community of that magnitude. And like Walter said, the sense of community is what is so alluring about Hotter Than July. And I agree with you, we have to get back to that sense of community and that intergenerational community at that. Because here were elders for me saying, we see something in you that you don't see yet. But that doesn't negate the fact that we see it in you. So come on and awaken what we see in you through your works, through your efforts. And that's what community has to get back to. They have to learn how to say to our young, we see something in you. Come on the board. The young have to acknowledge in our elders, you've seen all there is to see long before I ever could. I need your narrative. There has to be a marrying of the two once again in order for us to ignite that fire that is Hotter Than July, that is LGBT Detroit. And unfortunately, it's like what you said, technology has become the god of wisdom, and that's not necessarily so. It is a god of intellect. But intellect without wisdom is nothing. And so when we talk about community, community is the wisdom aspect to intelligence. And when we have intergenerational audiences and panels and orgs and committees, what we're saying is we're joining the stank with the old school funk. We're joining the intellect we're joining the old knowledgeable heart with the new knees. Because one without the other, it's going to fail. Everything is going to fail. And we will forget about our fallen soldiers. And we will forget about our genesis. We will forget about our origins. And for the last 25 years, I was 13 during this inception. But as a 20-some-year-old woman, they had brought me aboard. And now here at 37, I can honestly say that was the catalyst to my life's work. Had Kimberly, Charlene, Walter, Curtis, John, had they not said, and what do you think, Deidre? And lean in intently and really want to know what I thought. And at this time, mind you, I was coming out of homelessness. I thought I didn't have much to offer. I was literally hustling every day, cleaning myself up to come present my thoughts. And they were so valued, and I felt so valued because of it, because elders were saying, we need you to carry the torch. And I was in essence saying, well, I need you to show me how to light it. Keep it lit. I need you to show me how to keep this thing lit now. And so it was myself, and then the second year is Innocence and I, and we had Innocence that put together a parade, and I put together the open mic cafe, and it was a good time because we had our elders there who would get out in the wee hours of the morning and camp up just to see what us young folk were putting together for an already established platform. So That's what it was for me. It was a good faith seed. It wasn't even a changing of the guards, but it was a good faith seed in saying, we gonna see where this girl gonna go in about a decade or so. And hopefully what we've invested, we'll see a return. And I hope that the seed you're giving me, I hope that you see an orchard soon enough. I'm working at it.
Oh, that'll be next one. I got the good mic, huh? So, my very first Hot in July was 2007. Wait a minute. So 2007, I was just this young gay black boy, just come out of high school a year ago. I've been to Palmer Park, but I've never been to actual Pride. And I saw Pride, and I just saw being gay in a whole different way. All I saw was always just being at the bar, getting messed up, twerking and voguing, right? But at the park, I saw the elder gays, the young gays. I saw my trans sisters and brothers. I've never really been around trans people until then, really. And I also met the Rec Boys at that time too, so then I became part of the Rec Boys at that time too. So Hot in July was my very first experience to the gay world for real. And when I became part of KIC at the time, in 2012 for the Leadership Academy, I wanted to be a part of the community and work in activism and be a part of organizing. It looked so amazing. I didn't know how the hell I was going to do it, but it looks really amazing. So once I graduated from the academy, I knew that there was spots open for being on the committees. So I was on the Palmer Park Picnic Committee with Curtis, and I was like Curtis' right-hand man that whole time. Like, everything he did, he had me on the side of him. I was making the calls, talking to people, going to meetings with him. And I even worked for him at this time. Like, I was literally volunteering. So I would come in, do all the stuff with him. And at the very first, that was 2013 for my first Pride when I was working. So at the end of that Pride, he stood up and introduced me as the new co-chair for Hot in July Palmer Park Picnic. And I'm like, huh? You didn't talk to me about this. So going back to what Dee said, like, it was my elders saying, hey, I see something in you, do it, you know? And that was a good fire for me to have. I didn't know a place for me to be in as a gay young man trying to find my way outside of just being clubbing and having fun and fucking, okay? And having this space and opportunity to do this, I did Hot in July for, I want to say, 3 years. And throughout that inception, I learned so much on how to organize communities, organize people to have them come together, manage people, because you got to manage so many personalities, and really realizing that it takes the community. Like, at the end of each year, I've always had so many concerns, complaints, comments, and, you know, encouragements. But at the end of the day, it was always just statements. Actually coming to the table, actually want to implement those things they said, hey, you guys should do this. I say, that's great. I can't do it myself. And it's like, well, don't you got a team? I do, but my team might not be able to do it too. We're already doing things. Like, people don't realize in the community that when you're putting on things, it takes a lot. It don't just magically happen the next day. We plan from Hot in July is now. We take a break in August and starts planning again in September, and all the way up until basically July. It don't stop until July. So you're back at it. You get a month break, and you're automatically working on it again for the next 12 months. So we are putting in the time, putting in the work, but we only have so much manpower. So going back to what Dee is saying and Dada is saying, like, we really need both factors, elders and the young ones, to actually come back to the table. Let's be real, our elders, I'm 32, so I know my elders are 30 years older than me or plus. So they're tired, okay? They're tired. In 10 years, we're going to be the elders, y'all. So, like, I mean, in gay terms, yeah. But we're going to be the elders. Like, we have to get the younger ones together to come to the crew. You know, we have to be the ones that's going to actually light that fire for them, because somebody lit our fires. Who's lighting these people's fires? The point of us to be mentors and light other people's fires. Just how the mentors of leadership gave it to us. And we can't do that without the community. So Hot in July to me was my beginning of my gay career.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh. Okay, my first experience with Hot of July was, I forgot what year it was, but I was a late bloomer, so my first experience was one Hot of July at Palmer Park, and just, because I was raised in the church, I was like, okay, I can't be singing out here and all that stuff. So it's like one day I decided to go. My best friend Damon. So when I went there, it was just very exciting because you saw the creativity and, people just dressed up, coming out, having fun, they were partying, and everybody was coming together. It was a great fellowship. So it was just, and I was like, I like this, I'm like, and so then I started, then participating in the committee, which basically Robert Tate, he was always, when he threw his events, he would always be like, oh, you need to come and, come to this party and everything. And so he ended up trying to get me to come and help, do decoration and everything. So he used to always, different organizations would have, special events and everything. So he was like, you need to take ideas on how they decorate. So he was like, so we can take that to Hot of July events, because I would help him for the Hot of July brunch, Sunday brunches they have. So it was like showing creativity, the talent they have. I just remember at one of the prides where they had a violinist, and they was just, it seemed like they was making that thing talk. That's how good. And I was like, and then you had different singers out there, and it was just the great talent that was showing, But to me, it just seemed like now, and then plus, I remember planting the pine tree at the time, and then that was like an emotional thing for me because, we had a friend, of course, Damon know our friend Lance, which, every time I look at that tree, it just remind me of him because it was a memorable moment. And, you just think about how, people who have passed from, the HIV and stuff, and it's like, now we have the medicine and medical technology now to do that, but it just seemed like we, have, as they say, they as Dada said, lost soul, soldiers or whatever. So it's like, we gotta pick up that spark again, because it's like this generation, you'd be like, okay, where are we gonna be, 5-10 years from now, because it's like, do they want to carry the torch, as what's the name said, how I'm gonna light the torch, because, Robert always be trying to pass the torch to me, and I'll be like, no, I can't fit your shoes yet. Some big shoes I can't fit right now, I'm not ready for it yet, so to me, Hot of July is a great experience, but it's just about the education and educating our people, this generation, because it's like if they not educated and don't have that spark, where are we going to be 10 years, 20 years from now? But that's how Hot of July is for me.
Well, my first, actually, when I first started going out, it was about 20, I was about 26, 27 or whatever. Actually, I started hanging around some of the people, some of the elders, I say that, oh yeah, I'm about to mention some names, Walter, Curtis, Terrence. They were, to me, they were more so not friends but family. But as they got me out a little bit more, because I was the one that was in the back scene. I was the one that always stayed in the back. I was the one like Marcus. Oh, you got a church going family, and you got to do this behind, behind closed doors or whatever. Well, at that point in time, it was like after I started hanging around these guys, it was like, okay, I started feeling more comfortable. I started coming out a little bit more at 25, with that 25 years. And it was like from there on, I'm constantly coming. But I started still staying in the back scene. But then all of a sudden, I started getting a little bit more courage, what I had. And then I started to come out a little bit more than what I did. And them guys, I really want to thank them for that, because I really appreciate that. People need that kind of encouragement, So I feel personally, and to me, these are not even friends. I don't consider them as friends. I consider them as family. I consider them as my brothers and sisters. I mean, I have learned a lot. Like I said, I started coming out to that park like I was 26, 27, and I'm 49 now. So I just, yeah. But, as time went on, I got to know people, like Marcus and Damon, and it was like we all just became one big family in that particular time. And I just started learning more. I started coming out more. So to me, back then, that 25 years back when I was coming out, I just noticed a big difference. And when I started getting more and more, being more adaptable coming out, I really started saying, well, man, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be. And I started noticing the different things that Curtis was doing in the community. And that kind of lifted me up, too, to let me know, you know what, there are some things that you should be doing. There's some things that I want to feel that I should have stepped in Curtis's shoes or a lot of the other elders' shoes to make them see that I'm the real deal. I'm here to do what I need to do to try to help them. So within that 25 years at that park, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from them. I learned a lot from being in the community, learned a lot from everybody back then, and I'm really appreciative of that. So that lets me see this is what I need to do.
So for me, it's my turn. Well, I was there when the conversation was being had when it started, because I was lucky. When I came out, I ended up being in like both worlds. I was in the Ball House community, and then I was mentored by Terrence and Walter and Curtis and everybody. So I had these two different family dynamics going on. So the trans community to me is just like, they're my sisters, my aunts. I just look at them as whatever. I was 20. They made sure I couldn't do the stuff they did. They had been out before I was. I was in college, so no, you got class, I want to go hang in the street and party. And they're like, nope, see us on the weekend, anything like that. So I always felt a sense of community. And for Holiday in July, when I've gone to other prides, it's always been like one big party. And that's good too. But it's just like here, it's always tried to be something for everybody. Even if some people felt marginalized or left out, it still was an opportunity. I think somewhere it was like a generational break where some of the younger people didn't want to have like a family or community connection. I feel like that they felt they wanted to make fun of you if you called somebody your mother or father or your aunt or uncle, because they was like, that's stupid. But it's like, I look at those people now, how much trouble they got into not listening to somebody. Like, if you come out in this community, you have to be ready. You have to be ready or you will get ate up. That's the truth. And if somebody says, come here, let me talk to you, they're not trying to have you. Everybody's not trying to have you. Don't gas yourself up like that, because you done put some filters on your Instagram picture. We trying to save you. I mean, that's just the truth. Like, I'll be 48 in a week. So, stop it. Yeah, and it's just kind of like, I didn't plan on mentoring people. I was still partying hard in my mid-20s. But I started seeing younger people who was like, I'm about to run through everybody and turn these people out. And I'm like, oh, my God. Popcorn sisters, yeah. But those are my kids, so, And I just started taking them in, and then people getting cast out in the street. So I started bringing them home, and they're looking at me like, who is this? I'm like, they ain't got nowhere to go. Like, so they need somewhere to eat, something to eat. People throw them out. Children, who are tricking on the corners. But you take them to events that are going on Holiday in July, they see that it's normal to be themselves. It's not about, predatory anything. It's about, you see kids at a picnic, you see families, you see the church is always has a section at the picnic. You just see elders saying, baby, come on, sit with us. What you doing? Where you going? And makes you feel welcome. And that inspires young people when they want to be inspired to do better and be better. Because, all communities fall off and have to get back to certain things. The world can beat you down so much, you're just trying to survive every day. So, everybody just, take a deep breath and just figure out, how we moving forward. But I think for us here in Detroit, we've learned to do it as a community. We've been unified in so many instances. I don't mind being that elder in the room where people are coming to me because, I've been fortunate. So I've had people always to go to. I've always had, that safe haven, even when I was being fast in the streets, and Uncle, would you stop? But it's just like now I want to make sure that, me having these opportunities, I never would have thought I've been sitting here moderating some panels. I'm just like, oh, but Curtis being my mentor, he's just like, oh, well, you know what, you do it. You do it. This is your thing, just do it. And I'm going to let you do what you can do. And it inspires you like, wow, maybe I really can do it. And he'll sit you with the partnerships. And you like, wait, I'm talking to these people for what? He's like, this is your thing, honey. Tell me what they need. So, I'm in conjunction with the museums and stuff to make our community, the history, preserved. That's something I wanted to do, but now it's like the community is allowing that because they want it and they need it. We need to know where we came from, before we get to where we're going, because we talk about how good it was and then people don't have anywhere to go, so they're kind of like trapped, in one spot that will not yield to us because they know that we're going to come anyway. So they're just going to treat us any type of way until we stand up and demand that part of it. So, no. So, well, we've kind of combined the first two questions because I see that we all are focusing on like getting back to really the grassroots aspect and working together. And I think that what people need to do is actually like just combine their voices and, go to the table like with your ideas written out, kind of figure out what you need to do because every voice is valid, every idea is valid. All of that stuff. And as we grow and expanding, we can do it. Like, Dada's going to do an event next year, do some type of thing for Pride, right?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes, she is. And it's recorded. Yeah. So we're going to take a break so our sponsor, 2 James, can get us a little libations.
Ow.
They're here. Wave, bartender. Wave to the camera. So we'll be back with you in 1 second.
I feel like Beyonce would.
One thing that I think needs to be a little bit more emphasis on is our history. Because we have been a part of history throughout history.
Every day that I exist, building relationships with Wendell, with others, now that we're participating in polyamory, is just the bond that we build within that relationship gets stronger.
In BDSM, it's not all about just physical fucking. You got fisting, flogging, all the things. So you gotta discuss all that. Like what's okay, what's not okay.
These groups that have started themselves, LGBT Detroit, even from back in the day, did not wait for permission. They just decided, oh, you won't make room for me? I'll make room for my own self. I'll create my own thing. You know, you don't like how I decide I want to have sex? I'll create my own space for have sex how I want to have sex. You don't like my size? I'll create my own space for my size to be celebrated and affirmed. And I think that that's where everybody needs to be. Stop looking for anybody else to affirm and validate you. Validate and affirm your own self. And I think the brothers who have been part of this experience have embraced that for their lives. And that's exciting for the future.
Hey everyone, this is Raquel Trammell with the Love Her Collective. So I'm coming to you today to talk to you.
We're a group of researchers and community activists who are working together to address and identify the needs of transgender women of color in
Metro Detroit area. This partnership between U of M and Trans Sisters of Color Project developed over a year and a half ago.
Series of focus groups in order to document and identify community needs and strengths. Now we're doing a survey and developing a group program.
Follow us on Facebook to learn more and get involved.
My name is Alex. I'm a local Detroit bartender, and I'm here making a drink for Hotter Than July with the Jack Daniel's Fire. We're gonna start with the glass, fill it up about 3/4 way with ice. You're gonna do a 6 count of Jack Daniel's, a 1 count of Grenadine, a 1 count of Werner's, and a 2 count of apple cider, topped with 3 cherries, and you have the Michigan cherry.
Everyone has a story. Some are epic, some are small. All are meaningful. The Detroit Historical Society has been telling our region's stories for almost a century. Stories of bravery and stories of love. Stories of individual dreams and shared victories. We can tell you about a preacher's daughter who became a queen, and about the wives, sisters, and mothers who became riveters and plane builders. We can tell you about the community leader who worked at this desk, and about the dreamer who strummed this guitar. About great ships that crossed great lakes, and carriages that no longer needed a horse. We can tell you about shoes that literally walked to freedom, and about the letters written by men who fought for it. It is our mission to tell the region's stories, celebrating our personal and collective histories. The shared history that unites us and will make us stronger as we move into the future. We are the Detroit Historical Society. And we invite you to help us keep our stories alive.
More than 300,000 adults in Michigan identify as gay or transgender. When we all get out and vote, we have a significant say in who represents us and our values. See you this November.
It's time to step up, prep up.
Step up, prep up.
To help keep you free from the risk of HIV.
From the makers of Truvada, there's another PrEP option, Descovy for PrEP, a once-daily prescription medicine that helps lower the chances of getting HIV through sex. It's not for everyone. Descovy for PrEP has not been studied in people assigned female at birth. Talk to your doctor to find out if it's right for you.
Step up for health and body.
Prep up for your one and only love, or many loves.
For kings, this queen, and you royals in between.
For my now.
Our now.
And my future.
Our future.
Step up, prep up. Descovy is another way to prep. Descovy does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections, so it's important to use safer sex practices and get tested regularly. You must be HIV negative to take Descovy for PrEP, so you need to get tested for HIV immediately before and at least every 3 months while taking it. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. They may check to confirm you are still HIV negative. Serious side effects can occur, including kidney problems and kidney failure. Real-life threatening side effects included buildup of lactic acid and liver problems. The most common side effect was diarrhea. Tell your doctor about all the medicines and supplements you take, or if you have kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis. If you have hepatitis B, do not stop taking Descovy without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about your risk of HIV, and if Descovy for PrEP is right for you.
Words are loud, but actions are louder.
Step up.
Prep up.
With Descovy for PrEP.
Get help paying for Descovy for PrEP. Learn more at stepupprepup.com.
Hi, my name is Joe Walker, and I will be making a drink for Hotter Than July, and I'm going to be making it with Jack Fire. I started with ice in the shaker. I did a 5 count of Jack Daniels Fire and a 3 count for the cranberry. Then I used lime juice, and after shaking that up in the shaker, you will top it off with Sprite. And it should give you this nice, sweet kind of taste.
Count it down. 3, 2, 1. Action.
Who are you? I'm Innocence Rodale Million. I was the producer of the sound stage for the picnic. The process of bringing Pride Picnic to life was a very long process, but it was very fun. It was well organized, it was well put together, and I think the overall outcome spoke for itself. I believe we should keep the picnic family friendly because there are kids there. There are people that, some straight people are there as well, and we have to keep it to a certain level. And we want to be different from every other pride. Other prides don't have a stipulation on what goes on at their picnics and their overall parties, and we try to keep it family friendly so we can have our kids there. We can have just people there having a good time with no obscene sexual conduct going on. The tribute to David Blair was very good. The acoustic singers, I loved them. The neo-soul singers, they were wonderful. The poets they were pretty good too. Some of them I didn't know, so it was good for me to get a feel of something new that I wasn't accustomed to, so I actually paid attention to what was going on. And they were very lyrical. I liked them all. What I enjoyed overall for Hotter Than July, I would say, is the picnic, because that's the time that everyone can come out and have a good time, and it's free, and everyone from all races, creeds, ages are all there having a good time. So I think the picnic is my highlight for the picnic, for Pride. My experience from hosting this year at the Soundstage was fun. It was organized. All the entertainers were there on time. They were all there like they're supposed to. Everything ran smoothly as far as the entertainment aspect is concerned. So I had a wonderful time. I didn't have any problems. The volunteers were very helpful with getting the entertainer CDs and getting them ready and prepared for their show. So it was a very, very easy and good day for me. The process for getting talent for the silent stage, I would say, was pretty easy on my end because by me working in different clubs in the city and working in the entertainment field, I see a lot of entertainment and I know who would be good for what we were looking for. So it was pretty easy. Every entertainer, either I contacted them or they contacted me, and it all just worked out well. And everyone, in my opinion, did a good job. I wanted upbeat people. I wanted good personalities. I wanted some impersonators. I wanted some dancers. I wanted some people that was going to be that you wouldn't normally see at other prides. Mostly amateur people, underground people, and that's exactly what we got. And I thought it went wonderful. So the selection was easy. For the graduation next year, 2013, Hotter Than July, I think that it should be on a grand scale with several activities going on. As far as the picnic is concerned, I believe that we should put it on a grand scale. I believe that we should outdo what we did this year and years past. And we're graduating. It's time to move up in the world and move up in what we're grasping for our goals. So move on up.
And I need your help to build a safe, brave space right here in Detroit, Michigan.
Another brother to brother lockdown. Happy quarantine Thursday.
It's fucking delayed. Like it's always delayed. There's always.
Hey, welcome back. Want to give a shout out to Two James Distillery, getting us together with the Almost Famous, and Alex is going to show you how to make it.
Hey y'all. So today we are going to make the Almost Famous, which is going to be a bourbon-based drink. We are going to start with a full cup of ice. And then, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Then we're going to start with 2 ounces of bourbon. This is called Crass Widow. It's going to be more of a summery, autumn, warm rye.
It's really good.
We're gonna.
It's really good. It's right.
It's the ginger beer that makes it. Oof.
Yeah,
then
it is the ginger.
We're gonna do 1 ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 ounce of strawberry syrup, and 2 dashes of bitters, just to give it that little. 1, 2, and then take our shaker, pour it, top this off with ginger beer, and 1 more of these. Are closer to being famous.
Yay! Let's get in that.
And it's really good.
Thank you, Alex. This is great. I'm going to have another one after this is over. So that sets us up for going into the finale. We're all a little more relaxed now. So this question is a combination of the first 2, but moving into the future. So everybody, think about this. What do you think the next 25 years of Hotter Than July could mean for the global impact of LGBT issues, politically, socially, and culturally? What do you think that we can do and should be doing to make sure that what we're doing spills across the world for the future generations?
I'll go first. There's a space in this community for us to look at what our next generation is becoming before our eyes. I mean, all of us are from our 30s, 40s, 50s. And so, we have to look and ask the question, what is it that you need from this event? I mean, everyone's going to say we need the party. Everyone wants a party. That's going to happen anyway. Someone's going to give a party, But unlike most Pride events, we are a community-based event that starts on Tuesday with a candlelight vigil and goes all the way through to Sunday. Our last event is usually a brunch of different community leaders, sponsors, invited guests. But we should be asking the question, what is it that you need? What would you like it to look like? What is this community needing to bring us forward? What information do we need? Right now we're in a space in our world that we need protection, we need to be heard, we need to be respected, and we need to respect ourselves. That's important. That's just coming from Old Guard. But my question will always be, what do you need? I know what I see. I can't speak for 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. Now teens are coming up. I can't speak for them. So that's a question that we have to ask our generations behind us.
Okay, to piggyback off Walter, I feel the same way. I think I'm praying for in the next 25 years that we can, well, let me say this. What we need to do is to make us stick out as a Black Gay Pride. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to make it short, how it's crazy how we're so segregated. Meaning Lansing got a Pride, downtown got a Pride. Ferndale was mad at Motor City because they moved it. But Ferndale said, I'm going to have my own goddamn Pride. They're mad about that. But why do we have to have so many prides here in Michigan? Why can't
we all come together, Lansing, Black Pride, Motor City, Ferndale, Ypsilanti. Why can't we, what is it called, y'all, where they had parties at? Freedom Rock, Freedom Hill? Rent something or have something out there and we all come together, black, white, Mexican. You know, we're all LGBT, right? So why do, oh, I'm white, me and D gonna be over here, we're not going to the Black Pride, but that's something that we all need to talk about. That's a bigger problem, but that's something need to come up as a conversation to help see what we can do to try to mend whatever was going on between the Mexican prize, the white prize, the black prize, the Lansing prize, the Ypsilanti prize, you know. And we need to maybe find a symbol, something change the color of Hotter Than July, change the symbol of it. Like Walter said, it's the younger generation. We have to ask them, what do y'all want to see? What do y'all want? And then what we see, what I see, I'm going to say, because I can't see what y'all see. What I see is we need education for meaning from mental health. Kids are thrown out on the streets, are being prostitutes, making themselves, thinking they're trans women at 12 and 13 years old, dressing up in drag, being pulled in these groups that saying they're friends, and they're making them feel low as an ant's belly. But it's just a lot of emotional things I can say. But we need to bring our heads together as elders, as black people, as fighters, and show these people, like I said in the other questions, our sponsors. We need to present them something to show them that we can pull this Black Pride off like Motor City. People don't like Motor City Pride. You see the second year the gay boy got beat up. The second year. We never really had nothing at Black Pride like a violence or killing or nothing like that. Because those straight people went down there thinking it's okay. And then they're charging to get in. Like, why are you charging to get in? I thought this was a free event. So things like that, like we need to present them something to show them that this is what we want, and we're not going to back down at fucking all. This is what we want. This is what we can do. You know, of course, I know y'all know people who write grants, and I know people write grants, but you know, it's just you want to make sure they write it for the right reason, because people steal. And we don't want people to be in that group to put that negative in our environment and dysfunctional and messing us all up. So hopefully, and I'm praying in the next 25 years that we can bring something back that we haven't done in a long time. We can start something fresh and new from fresh faces, fresh attitude, or whatever, you know. We just need to, and I'm going to just keep saying again, we need to reach out. And I'm going to reach out to some of the black business people that I know from selling vitamins, food, clothing, and just ask. I know people are homophobic, but people like different stuff. People will spend money. People will spend money if they see it, you know. So I think we need to concentrate on healing what's going on and make people feel comfortable with the committee and us saying we're going to do the right thing for our pride brand. We're going to not keep on seeing the same things over and over. We want to see something different. That's it. You know, so I'm praying and hoping that in the next 25 years that it's going to be something better, something greater. Our pride will come back like when we first planted the pine tree. You know, the park from Woodward all the way around to the back used to be off the hook. Like all the way around. The people all in Highland Park used to come. No fighting, no killing, no shooting. It was never none of that. And even to this day, it's still, besides the girl who shot the gun, we have never had a shooting. We have never had a killing at Palmer Park, meaning it's always been a successful. So that's something that we can present to our sponsors, our grant writers. Like, listen, we have a history of this. We do this. This park is known for us LG people to hang out, but we still have to be respectful for the people in Palmer Park too, the people who live there, the people who run the park, you know. So I'm just like, I think we can do it. We can. It just takes the right minds, the right pen with the black and white, put it in black and white, and put it and say, here, motherfuckers, here we go. You know, I don't mean to cuss, but that's just, you know, here we go. We're ready. Thanks.
So, to piggyback off of that, the next 25 years, I hope that globally we impact the importance of the presence of Black LGBTQIA communities. The reason why LGBT Detroit and Hotter Than July was so important and influential for the last quarter of a century is because we were very intentional and unapologetically Black. And the pride came from not the desire to embrace others, but we had to take a stance against the ostracizing of us. So in the next 25 years, globally, I hope that we can influence minds enough to do away with just the global anti-Black racism that exists both inside and outside the community. Because let's be real, we are all LGBT, but there are a lot of racist and there's a lot of racism within the community itself. And LGBT Detroit and Hotter Than July has been instrumental in putting the scope on that, not limiting our focus to that very reality, but putting the focus on it enough to uplift the community that is Black, that is LGBT. And when we recognize that our fight as Black and LGBT is not only a civil right, but a human right, that's what separates us from other prides, because we have an intersection of fighting for civil rights and human rights. That's where we differentiate. But like I say, it isn't a focus because we desire to ostracize anybody else. It's just the fact that we have been ostracized. And in order to reclaim and say that we do exist, we have the right to exist within our own diaspora, we're going to create visibility because we've always been here, we will continue to be here. And unfortunately, within our diaspora, we've been ostracized and outside of it as well. So when we say Black, LGBT, when we say Hotter Than July, green, red, and black, when we use those colors, we emphatically say we're not invisible. We do count, and whether you count us or not, we're still innumerable. And so I think in the next 25 years, we have to never forget the intentionality of what Hotter Than July started off as and where we hope to see it as now. Hopefully we do things right. We won't need to put such emphasis on what it is. But unfortunately, if the last 50, 60 years have proven to us that we do need these type of platforms and we do need to amplify the voices of this demographic, then I think 25 years is too short a time to expect anything different, but we can certainly impact. So that's what I hope to see in the next 25 years globally. The elimination of discrimination from the Black diaspora toward Black LGBT, and then the elimination of anti-Black racism globally.
So for the next 25 years, let me see. So Hot of July is a mobilization project. It is meant to mobilize our community and bring the community together, LGBTQ plus, as far as the black people, right? As Black Pride. So I really want to see us put a foothold on what being prideful is. Black lives, black LGBTQ lives, like how Black Lives Matter is out here doing things, we should be protesting too. Anytime we have a trans killing, Pride people should be out here protesting because we have the right to live. It's not about partying, it's not about just education, it's about knowing that we have the right to live too, you know? So us showing up at Black Lives Matters things or creating our own marches, our own protests over again, because it's still getting real again. Like they're still killing us again. Like it's not changed. It's just changed faces. Change the times, but it's the same thing. So we have to mobilize as a community, and I feel like if we can do this and start putting a footprint into the actual world, that other prides and other cities and other states will actually do the same thing, and we will have a force of LGBTQ people that can say, hey, we're here. No matter what state we're in, no matter what pride we're doing, LGBTQ people are here. So that's what I feel like HTJ should do in the next 25 years, globally, hopefully.
Well, within the next 25 years, me personally, I have a personal goal of getting some of these younger ones to let them see the importance of what we're going through. I'm basically, like I said, doing a mentorship program where I do want to take on different kids to let them see, okay, this is what being gay means. This is what we need to do to help build up in the community instead of tear down the community. You know, that's basically my goal for the next 25 years, to let them see, okay, Hot of July is a nice, wonderful thing. I want everybody to see that, but I also want them to see, okay, it's more out here too for them as well as for us. We have to be more together. I don't care what the situation is, we have to be together. So I feel that what I need to do, me personally, is to get them together within the next 25 years and let them see. We're going to do the thing with the picnics or whatever. I want them to see that not only that's more important, but we globally need to be together as one to get everything together.
I think, well, for me, I would say it's about educating, especially educating the next generation, because, you know, you look, it's one thing, Robert Tate, when he always called himself trying to promote it and bring people in, he was like, Marcus, you need to talk to the young people, you know, and everything. And I be like, them young folks ain't not trying to hear me. They ain't trying to do nothing, you know. But I think you have to have an open mind and find out how to reach them. And once you reach them or bring them and be like, you know, come to this event, come to the Pride Committee, and, you know, see and give your opinion, you know, what you want to see, you know, into Pride, or what you expect to see in Pride, you know, and get them involved to where, you know, down the line you may see where they can carry the torch, you know, and you see it getting bigger and better, you know, within 25 years from now. But it's all about educating, you know, because it's like, you know, they don't want to hear you. They don't want to, you know, it's all about for them partying and going to the ball and spinning and turning, you know. But yeah, and so it's like, you know, it's like you got to educate and then bring them into the fold to, you know, as they say, polish them up, you know. And that's the whole thing is, you know, you know, it's all about education, you know. So that's what I see, you know, within the 25 years.
So what I would like is to see everything that's been manifested kind of curl up into like a big explosion. Like all of the people who have done everything over the last 25 years and the shoulder we stood on, like moving to the next quarter century to really empower everybody to always talk about living in your truth and being authentic. because I think when you do that, you will have more pride. If you're not prideful in yourself, you won't love any community that you're in. So I know that learning that for myself helps me to just, be that person, and younger people kind of be drawn to that energy. Like, oh my God, I tell people it's your journey. One day it'll just click, and you be like, oh, this is who I am. God, what can I do? What can I do to be seen? You come to these spaces, you're respected because your word is valued. And you're like, I'm valued as this queer person. Like, they're listening to what I'm saying, and I can do this, I can do that. And that whole generation now who are in their early 20s, early 30s will be, hitting 50 or, near 60, looking over the next quarter, thinking about all the things they did. Technology and resources are greater now, and you have to use them for those purposes. But, I want to see like all the stuff we did, because everybody in here has worked and served purposes in the community and been beacons everywhere. Whatever part of the community you're in, you're known and you're respected. So it's not like no rag sheet on you on something. People make stuff up because they're mad, because they can't do what you do. They can't be who you are, because some people don't want that. Everybody doesn't want it. So we can only, help those that want to be helped and that want to help us. So that's what I want to see for the next quarter century. Sure, Uncle.
I stood on the shoulders of people. I did. Stood on the shoulders of people who lifted me up when I walked in the room. And everyone in this room have had mentors that they looked up to, looked eye to eye, walked beside, walked behind, worked with, worked for. And a lot of people don't realize you can't just walk in the room and say, I want to put a pride event together because I got friends, we go to parties together. A pride event is not about a pride event is not about the party, going to the big party. That's icing on the cake when you can do that. That's just a celebration. That is not a pride event. A pride event is about the work that we have done to get through this year, next year, and the years before. All the work that we have done. There are people in this room that I've seen grown because of having Hotter Than July, coming to the park, meeting each other. I remember when I met Dee. Let's talk about meeting Dada. Dada, whenever I've seen her, it's love when we walk in. We talk about this, love when we walk in the room. And we're from two different worlds, but we're from the same world. We're from two different worlds, we're from the same world, but it's been love. And I always honor that sister. Almost once or twice a week from across the country, I honor that sister. Dee, the same way. Dee, young lady, coming through what she was coming through. And let's do it. You can do this, you got this, don't worry. She was nervous. I remember how nervous you were. And you just do it. We all do it. I used to text this young man over here in the morning. I would text him and say, you got this, you look good, things are going good, you got this, work it out, make me proud. I would text him, and we have to do that. All of us have to do that. Magic knows, we've many conversations, but we have to do that for each other, our generations behind them, and teach them that's what they're supposed to do. Like the Robert Tates and the Cornelius Wilsons did for me. Right.
Yeah. What's up, Corn?
When I walked in the room, and I learned to pass that along, that love. That's what pride is about. That's what it's about. That party and those events and dressing up and kicking, splitting, jumping, flipping hair is fun. It's fun. But that's only one thing, once a year. What do you do after that? What are you doing for the community after that? If you can't mention anything you've done but going to a party, what is this all about really? So pass the wisdom, stand on the shoulders of people who mentor you, who guide you, who say, hey baby, we need you, we want you. Do the work, show up, volunteer. You're not gonna get paid. You're not gonna get paid. No one's gonna give you money. I've done this. I showed up at 4 o'clock in the morning, me and Leon Smith, in the rain, torrential rains, in the park, setting up tents and tables and chairs. 4 o'clock in the morning, and soaking wet to my socks and underwear, and go home and change and come back.
Yeah.
And make sure this day is, passing out seat assignments, table assignments, making sure it's done. I volunteered to do that for years. I helped put the first parade together. And the streets were dirty. I got out there and swept the parade routes. No one asked me to do it. I swept the parade route, the parking lot we were parked at. Then came back and gave assignments. Who's first, who's second, who's third, who's whatever. I volunteered. I didn't. And then putting on the Pride event a couple years in a row. Didn't get paid. I got no free, nothing. We didn't even get free liquor. We didn't get I had to pay for my own t-shirt. You don't get paid for this. It is not glamour. It's not glamorous. It's hard work. Dee Essence worked hard to put her event together. Her sister worked hard. As nervous as she was, it was on fire. 2 years in a row, it was on fire. And she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. But she did it, and it was impressive. That's what you're supposed to do. Come in, do the work, and then pass that wisdom to our younger folks behind us as we do that. That's just my 5 cents.
Thank you. So, wow. Yeah, this was really, really good. I want to thank everybody that spoke tonight. Thank you, David, Dee, Dada, Gus, Marcus, Walter. It was really good. So I hope you all enjoyed this. So follow LGBT Detroit on all social media outlets to keep up with future programming and continue the conversation with us. Join us tomorrow at 12 o'clock for our virtual Pride Picnic. It'll be streaming on all formats. So go to our page for the link. And it's from 12 to 5. You're going to have a good time. Sit at home, dance, watch the entertainment, everything, and type on and let us know what's going on. Thank you. Have a good night.
Hi, this is Sybil, and I'm so excited to be part of Hotter Than July in Detroit. I love you all and I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to come.
LGBT Detroit's got you, Marvin. Marvin Lee is LGBT Detroit's godfather. He was kind enough to think about people like himself who struggle with identity and wanted to invest in a safe, brave space, particularly for young people. As a Detroiter who witnessed one of the greatest moments in our history, the '67 rebellion, he wanted to make sure that no one experiences harm. And so he went in his pocket to make sure that an investment was made for us. And so today we honor him and celebrate him and thank him for this safe, brave space. We are standing in front of the Marvin Lee Building, 221 Greenfield in Detroit, Michigan. So today, we thank you, Marvin. We thank you for your investment, your generosity, your donation to us, people who you want to prosper. Thank you so much. And with our President, Antonio Johnson Seals, and the movement, one big cheer for Marvin Lee.
Since I've been with the company, I've known Marvin and seen Marvin come around every Thursday to look at Between the Lines. He's one of our biggest donors. We've gotten to a lot of events, a lot of conferences in these buildings because of Marvin Lee. And honestly, if it wasn't for him being a part of LGBT Detroit, we would not be where we are today. So I really want to give a lot of thanks to Marvin Lee, and I love you, man.
Had a wide range of involvement, from volunteering to being on the Young Adult Board of Advisors to working here. And so Marvin has always been a kind of steady force, quiet, steady force at LGBT Detroit. You could always depend on him to be there every Thursday with his green apple and his newspaper, reading Between the Lines. And it was always just nice to have an elder that was like around. It was like having a grandfather figure around that didn't really say much, didn't have to say much, but you knew that they were watching you. And so made you proud, Marvin, and it's always been a pleasure to have you around every week when I was working at LGBT Detroit, and to know that you were a steady force and watching us and rooting us on.
I met Marvin Lee in 2011. He used to come to the office every single Thursday. He was just a quiet person. He was very enjoyable to talk to. He always talked about how everything was back in the day versus today. And so I learned a lot from Marvin. And I am truly grateful that we are honoring him by naming this building after him. So Marvin, thank you, be blessed, and I love you.
Marvin, it is an honor to present to you the ribbon that was designed by one of our community members, Ms. Kim. She ties this with love in honor of you, and we thank you so much, as this ribbon is just one token of our affection to you. There is this bowl that we give to you in your honor, and there's another bowl with the actual scissors used at the ceremony that's going to be displayed, so that when anyone who walks into the Marvin Lee building, they'll see this magnificent ceremony. Okay. And we just want to say thank you. I love you and I'm proud of you, and I thank you. I'm very grateful that you chose us to honor you. Marvin, on behalf of the board of directors, our advisors, and our many friends, I give this award in honor of our leader, Antonio Johnson Seals, to you to say thank you for your gift to us.
Okay. And thank you also.
Hi everybody, my name is Jaron Totten. I'm your project coordinator for Hotter Than July, coming to you from the Marvin Lee Building. This year we're celebrating 25 years of Hotter Than July. Hopefully you've enjoyed the drinks that have been made for you, and hopefully you'll tune in July 24th through the 26th with the official drink of Hotter Than July, Jack Tennessee Fire. Cheers.
We are unified. HIV, health, and beyond.
With an array of services from prevention and care to community outreach, Unified continues to collaborate and engage with our communities to help individuals live a better quality of life and ending the HIV epidemic.
Serving 10 Southeast Michigan counties, Unified continues its fight against HIV and the stigma associated with it. We are committed to providing innovating services to improve the health equity and outcomes for those impacted with HIV.
Through community partnerships and agency programming, Unified serves as an essential service hub with a referral system in place that supports consumers in accessing PrEP, housing services, medical and non-medical care, and other important health-related services. For more information, please visit miunified.org, or for questions and help finding an HIV/STD testing site near you, please contact the Michigan HIV/STD hotline at 800-872-2437.
We
are Unified, HIV, health, and beyond.
Well, the part that I've taken in the 2012 Hotter Than July was the Sunday brunch. The Sunday brunch, well, I can go back saying it was part of the Billionaire Boys Club anniversary, and to see Hotter Than July committee taking part in this was a wonderful thing. The Detroit Yacht Club was a fantastic place to have the Sunday brunch. As a lot of people know, the Billionaire Boys Club was a barrier breaker. We done events and things at different venues where we didn't think we would ever be at. And so to go to the Detroit Yacht Club, once again, it was a nice venue. The food, the music, everything was just a good thing. Well, I'm going to have to take my hat off to our MC, Richard Yancey. He done a fantastic job in hosting the Sunday brunch, introducing our Phoenix star, Kalima Johnson, who had wrote a piece for the Billionaire Boys Club, and for her to perform one of the stages, because it was a 3-stage poem, I would say, a story. And for her to ask her at the last minute to do it, it was just wonderful. I enjoyed the Sunday brunch, going table to table, asking my guests how was everything. And I enjoyed that tremendously, and the feedback that I got, they enjoyed it. My hope is that they asked us to do it again for graduation. That would be a plus for us, that we are still working for the community.
y'all doing? I'm Ari Hampton. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. In spirit of Hotter Than July, I'm here making a special cocktail with Jack Daniel's Fire. So first, what I did was I went ahead and put sugar and cinnamon on the top of the rim. So you want to dip it just a little bit on a plate of water or a little bowl. And then you want to make your special concoction of sugar and cinnamon and dip it and lightly twirl it just a little bit. Then what I did was fill my brim maybe like midway to the glass with ice, and then I went ahead and added about 5, I counted off to 5 with the Jack Daniel's Fire, and then I counted off to 5 with the actual ginger ale, and then added about counted off to 3 with the sugar-free energy drink. And then I went ahead and added a little salted caramel on a toothpick, dropped it on the inside, added a cute little straw to it, and this is the drink that I call the popper.
This is more than a place of work. It's a rallying cry, a belief in something greater, a drive to improve the world and the way we interact with it, fueled by a deep sense of purpose. A mission to give more than we take. This is more than a job. It's a promise to seek out the exceptional and empower them, to help them grow and develop their passions, to give them opportunities and chances they will find nowhere else. This is about more than mortgages. This is a family of nearly 100 companies, ranging from sneakers and sports to film and software, all backed by the most talented sales, technology, and creative visionaries we can find. This is about taking a side project from concept to creation in under a year. This is about innovation and making sure that the best idea wins, no matter its origin. This is about more than profit. This is about the future and creating it instead of waiting for it. We rise together. Rise with us.
Hello everyone, welcome to a conversation with the presidents of Hotter Than July, Detroit's Black LGBT Pride Celebration. With us is Hank Milborn, Kim Jones, and Johnny Jenkins, former presidents of Hotter Than July, and I'm Curtis Lipscomb.
It's never been about the celebration or a party, it's always been about nurturing community and using it as a tool to strengthen what community that currently existed at the time, whether it was 1996 or now. So for me, Hotter Than July has always been about Detroit's Black, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community's identity.
Hotter Than July is an event that sometimes you don't see your friends the whole year. You see them Hotter Than July. You know that you'll be able to touch your extended family during Hotter Than July.
It's been a celebration of who we are. And being a person who actually moved here from another place, it just kind of felt nice because I never was able to celebrate that from where I live. And so it had a really positive, kind of affirming experience for me in terms of being able to see other people who look like me and thought like I did, and sometimes didn't think like I did, but kind of experience. And that was enough to celebrate that.
My biggest thing was about legacy building from the jump. And, so my favorite experience is to be disconnected from Hotter Than July entirely. Even after all these years, and to meet people who don't know that I'm a founder and that I was organizing it for several years, and that 20 or 30 or something will hear that and they will say something like, in high school I would catch the bus to Palmer Park just to be out at the park, get away from the house, and to experience Hotter Than July. That was one of my first out gay experiences. And to me, that means a lot because it was created for that exact reason. You know, it's that one day of the year. If you're not out and proud to be who you are, you can be. And if you decide to go back in the closet, fine. If you decide to become an activist, fine. If you decide to become a party promoter, fine. But this one day out of the year, which turned into a whole 10 days at one point.
That was the third year.
That was
and that was the first and last time we tried
that. Yes.
Yeah, that was me being overly ambitious.
It was all you. Thank you for owning it.
That's what I do. You know, again, that legacy building thing, but you know, I like pushing the boundaries. But for me, that's the best experience I've gotten from it, is to see people experience it in different ways over the long haul, and I don't have to drive it. Just watch it run itself.
But you know what? Also during your tenure, the Hotter Than July meetings became meetings that kept the community abreast of their political.
I thought you were going to say painstaking.
No.
And then Robert, you know, he brought youthful energy. You know, it was starting to get old and still, and he just instilled Robert Clark, who's also one of the presidents who made his transition, is not with us right now. You know, he was focused on keeping youthful energy in Hotter Than July and to make it relevant. And for his time period, it was relevant.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Vance. I'm here in Detroit newest bartender, and I'm here to celebrate Hotter Than July. I created a drink called July Punch, and with July Punch come with Jack Daniel Fire, 8 counts, and we use apple cider, sour pucker, and lime soda. And you fill it all the way to the top because we always love a mason jar. And you have a good time and enjoy for Hotter Than July.
Bring it in the mail, Curtis.
Man, why should I even fill out the census? Is it just how many people that they count?
Excuse me, Curtis, did I just hear you say the census just counts people? Do you know how many programs that benefit our community? I'm just reading right now myself. Public health care, community development, HIV emergency relief, housing assistance, adoption assistance, EBT, and transitional housing.
But how does my count help? And how much money are you talking about anyway?
Curtis, we're talking about $675 billion.
$675 billion?
Billion. Oh,
wow. I didn't know that. How can I get involved?
Well, it says here to go to my2020census.gov to fill out, your survey. And afterwards to head over to lgbtdetroit.org Facebook page, where you can be entered to win $50 in Instacart gift cards. So why not?
Detroit for the Hotter Than July Pride celebration.
We love Detroit.
I'm back with cocktails, hey! All right. Of course, we have our good friends, my co-host for this special occasion, L Train to the left of me.
Hey, hey.
Looking like El DeBarge.
I like Judea.
And I wore my Dinah Ross shirt. We got Your Day Noir with the braids. Fierce. All right. Then the one and only Tony Nelson. There. Hi,
Hello.
Tony.
Hey, how are you?
Good, good,
Tony.
good. So we're live now. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So Swerve, y'all. You know, we're a national Black LGBT publication, and I know you good folks in Detroit read us because Curtis Lipscomb keeps our name on his lips in Detroit. And we love you there for all the great work you're doing, Curtis, and all your staff members with that great organization. So we want to give them a big shout out. Shout out.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's go into it, y'all. We've got, of course, our July, August issue hot on the stands. Let me bring that up, featuring a great couple of ours. There they are. Hopefully you can see them. The Blairisms. That's Blair and Brandon Dante Haley. They are moguls in the making. They have a great custom apparel line, but they do more than that. So it's apparel, it's home gear, and L Train did a great story, great interview with these guys. So we love them. And go to the Blairisms, follow them on everything, and get those kimonos. Those kimonos are fierce. They really are.
I stopped to wear mine tonight. You can't see it though, Jamil.
You couldn't see it?
No, you have to put the actual image.
I'm sorry?
You can see your
whole
computer interface.
You didn't see the image? I put the image up. You didn't see it?
No.
Let's put it up again. Let's put it up again. All right.
There we go.
Did you see that?
Now we see it.
Go. The Blairisms. That's much better.
All right, you see it, that's the Blairisms. And it's a great read, yo. We also have a tribute to Dr. Ron Simmons, who was the founding executive director for Us Helping Us. And we got some great testimonials about the work that Ron did. So we love Ron, and it was a great service we did for him. All right.
He was a pioneer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, all right, we're moving along. All right, so that's our July, August issue. And of course, we do have advertising opportunities. I would be remiss if I didn't share that. We always have advertising opportunities. Here we go. Inside the magazine and online. Is that up, y'all? Can y'all see that?
Nope. Click it again.
It's there. We don't see it? Okay. All right. It says it shared it live. Oh, well, take that down. All right. Let's keep it moving. All right, y'all. Well, let's go right into some news, y'all. Coronavirus.
It's getting real. It done got real. And it looks like Dr. Fauci is advising the states that are hardest hit, which is Florida, California, and Texas, to reconsider reclosing.
We got to do something. I mean, how many people? We're averaging 1,000 people dying a day. That's crazy.
Yeah. Something has to be done because we ain't gonna never get out this mess if they don't. If
the flu season's coming.
Oh my goodness.
Auntie Rona's still here.
I ain't never coming out the house, y'all.
The flu season is coming.
Well, Tony, we lost you for some reason. There you go. It is coming. It is coming. So, but what kills me is they're getting ready to, first of all, they won't renew the unemployment assistance, that additional $600 they were giving people, and they're removing the moratoriums on evictions and foreclosures.
When are they doing that?
This week.
But didn't McConnell announced that they need a week to McConnell to finish. Trump wants to oversee the bill that they have in place, and apparently it's supposed, the rumors are it's supposed to have stipulations in it for stimulus checks, which we know everybody spent their stimulus in DC. Everybody,
Those are going.
But I
Those
think
are
everybody
going.
spent their stimulus checks on fireworks. I swear I do. But
I would not be surprised.
I thought they were giving the fireworks away because the 4th of July in DC was just ridiculous. Everybody and their mother had.
It was the 4th of May, June, and July. They still blowing fireworks in my neighborhood. But
they're home.
So I was reading today that it's supposed to be the same stimulus package as far as stimulus disbursements. Of course, it's up to our president to sign that. But
and last time he insisted on putting his name on the checks.
So here's one you deserve to have a check with his name signed on it. It's as simple as that.
The state of it all.
Hmm.
You got yours through direct deposit.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I wasn't eligible for one.
I wasn't eligible either. They sent me one. I guess I shouldn't say that. I got mixed up, but they sent me one. I was like, thank you very much.
They sent you one?
They sure did.
The full amount?
$1,200, and I knew I wasn't eligible. I was like, hey, we'll keep it moving.
You should have divided that with me.
I need every penny of it. Yo, but let's keep moving, y'all. Another piece of news that happened, John Lewis, may he rest in peace, and C.T. Vivian both passed last week. And actually, John Lewis is going to be, they're placing his body for viewing at the Capitol on Monday. This Monday, so that's going to be interesting. So both he and C.T. Vivian, they're great civil rights leaders, icons, and and I've met John Lewis several times. He was the nicest person. He really was.
He actually was. I actually had an opportunity, actually here at the Harris Theater, right across the street from my house. I walked in one day, and I turned around, and I stopped and spoke to him, and he spoke, and I was like, I just want to shake your hand. It's an honor to meet you. It's like a pleasure to meet you too. And that was it. He was really, really, really pleasant. Really pleasant.
He came when I was working for the Wilderness Society. I was doing fundraising for advocacy for that organization. He came and gave a staring speech. I mean, to watch those the white liberal environmentalists listen to him, it was quite the treat. I have to say, because they were like,
he was so courageous.
Because he really
was so courageous.
Because he really preached a sermon, and they were not quite ready.
Right. So there is a great documentary coming out about him, and we're going to attempt to show a trailer here. So hopefully, let me know if this works, y'all.
Okay, I'm looking.
All right.
Nope.
Did that? Click that. There you go.
There we go.
It's very simple. When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, say something, do something, get in trouble, good trouble, necessary trouble.
He was always different than every member of Congress. Everybody knew what he had done. He was John Lewis.
We're marching today to dramatize to the world that hundreds and thousands of Negro citizens denied the right to vote.
Congressman Lewis gave us the blueprint to organize and to legislate.
The reason why he's effective as a leader is because he lived it.
We made a decision to march in an orderly, peaceful, nonviolent fashion from Selma to Montgomery.
You are ordered to disperse. This march will not continue.
I was hit in the head. My knees went from under me. I thought I was going to down the bridge.
If John Lewis, as a 19, 20-year-old, wasn't doing what he did, I would not be here.
We will march with the spirit of love and with the spirit of dignity that we have shown here today.
The whole time he was in the movement, it was frightening, knowing the danger, knowing what could happen.
You cannot replace
this person I ever met.
Too many people struggled and died to make it possible for every American to exercise their right to vote.
He challenges the conscience of the Congress.
Bring common sense gun control legislation to the House floor.
40 years later, John Lewis continues to inspire us.
Are you with me? Let me hear you. 3 civil rights workers that were murdered for trying to help people get registered to vote are looking down on us.
This is a time for action. That's what I learned from John Lewis.
There are forces in America today want to take us back, but we're not going back. We're going forward.
All right, that looks good, man. I can't wait to see that. That's
Yeah.
gonna be amazing. That's gonna be amazing. All right, all right. Well, let's keep it moving, yo. What do you think about federal troops being on the streets, being on the streets of the country? What's that about?
And are they, so what is the overall purpose just for them to be there?
I think we lost Tony.
We did.
Tony, we lost you.
But you're talking about the troops being on the street, and I feel like a lot of the riot matters and things like that are starting to subside some, to where it's not even necessary. But what I feel like that's a state decision, and it's not being decided by the states.
I think.
Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily. You know, but it's kind of bizarre because they're not labeled, you know, they're not tagged appropriately. They're dragging people off the streets for no causes and putting them in unmarked vehicles. I'm like, what's going on here?
Where are they doing this?
A couple of things.
Portland, they're supposed to go to Chicago as well, but Portland is just a mess.
This is nothing but Trump trying to get some kind of buildup. What he's doing is he's doing war crimes on our streets, all of that. Have you seen the ad like Joe Biden is take over your suburbs?
No, I haven't.
That's what it's all about. The hell with Trump, all of that. It's a ploy. That's all it is. It's to divert with Rona, Auntie Rona. That's all it is. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome.
I had a power surge in my house. All the lights, everything went boom. It just went off. I was like, oh.
DC, 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 Pepco does tricks. You know, Pepco does tricks.
Tony, thank God trying to tell you something.
God. Or John Lewis came to visit, one of the two. I don't know.
How about that?
Hey, look, can I tell y'all this real quick? I was about to, it happened just as I was kind of saying when they were showing the young John Lewis. I was like, I would have had him.
Yes. Stop it. Civil rights, civil rights fighter.
As soon as I thought that, my lights went out.
That was John Lewis. Shut the hell up.
Right.
Shut it up.
One of the listeners, Lisa said, it seems that they're inciting more violence rather than bringing about peace when it comes to the federal.
Sure.
That's been his whole presidency.
He started because he wants to start a civil war.
It's quite.
And
consistent.
they say this is just a dress rehearsal for what he plans to do around election.
I'm not surprised.
What is going on? So anyway.
But they usually have, what's that thing, the 30-day curse with something like 28 days before the election. And
well, you know, voter suppression. Some jurisdictions that had 100 locations have like 10 now.
Yes. Yeah. Like they're cutting it.
Oh yeah.
In a way where even if you stand in line all day, you may not be able to vote. And it's
although, what was it? Was it Kentucky where they put everybody in this? No, I think it's Cincinnati where they instead of doing it around the area, they did it at the big stadium.
Oh.
And they said that worked because people did not stand in line. People were moving. Like
so maybe they should do something like that.
Centralize it.
I'm all for it being in a situation like that to where you have maybe 2 or 3 locations in large cities where people just go there.
Mhm.
Allow people to do their free parking because they're not there to hang out. They're there to just drop a vote.
Right.
Do that.
The question is, why do we just vote on one day? Why do we just got to vote on a Tuesday of all days? It should be a Saturday, and it should be at least a week or so. It's crazy.
You know,
sometimes you said vote for a week.
Yeah, over a long, but you can vote early and stuff. But why one day and the polls close at 7, 8 o'clock? That's ridiculous.
So I feel like if we vote over a week, there would be leaks, issues. I don't know if we could handle a week. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How would we contain that?
It would be a mess.
That way you don't have to take time off of work or whatever. You can schedule it.
So,
election day should be, how about just make that a national holiday?
That's what they
I
say.
agree.
Right.
It should be.
It should
be.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our suggestion. Well, y'all, let's go to this video. I got a great video by a superstar of a performer, Alex Newell. And we did a story on him. Well, I don't know how Alex, what pronoun he uses. I think he just uses their name. But it's a phenomenal artist from Broadway, from Glee, and nobody sings like Alex. But anyway, catch this. This is a relatively new single by Alex called Boy, You Can Get It. All right, let's do that. Boom.
That little thing you call a heart before we start. Boy, you can keep it. I'm not impressed with fancy cars on the boulevard. Boy, you can keep it. And if you don't know, now you should know. Celebrate the news. I'm going solo. It's a no-go. Don't want nothing from you. I feel it in my bones, bones, bones. Yeah. Every time we get close. He's a workaholic, professional starter, full of excuses. Bitch, I'm a card. Bitch, I'm a card. You playing around. I can't keep loving no faith. Good things don't come to those who wait. Nothing on comes in first day. You know that it's so fade away. I'm setting you free, don't fade away. So stop. Is that little thing you call a heart before we start? Boy, you can keep it. I'm not impressed with fancy cars on the boulevard. Boy, you can keep it. And if you don't know, now you should know. Celebrate the news. I'm going solo. It's a no-go. Now what? You can keep it. Oh, yeah. Boy, you can keep it. Boy, you can keep it. Boy, you can keep it. Just when I thought I heard it all, you dropped the ball. I can't believe it. If you bring the then I'll bring the sauce, but so you can keep it. And if you don't know, now you should know. Celebrate the news. I'm going solo. It's a no-go. Don't want nothing from you. I can't keep loving no faith. Good things don't come to those who wait. Nothing on comes in first day. You know that it's so fade away. So stop. Is that little thing you call a heart before we start? Boy, you can keep it. I'm not impressed with fancy cars on the boulevard. Boy, you can keep it. And if you don't know, now you should know. Celebrate the news. I'm going solo. It's a no-go. Now what? Everybody boy, you can keep it. Boy, you can keep it. Boy, you can keep it. Boy, you can keep it.
God. Hold up. What's that?
What?
Okay. I got some audio here. Wait a minute. Technical difficulties.
We're good.
Can y'all hear that?
We hear you fine.
All right, well, look. What do y'all think about that? Alex is fierce.
Well, I live with Alex. I discovered a lot of Alex's stuff. If you go actually on YouTube and go to his YouTube channel, he has some other songs that are so hot. Like, I was like, oh, I didn't know you was doing all of this. Yeah, he got some good stuff on there.
Oh, Alex tears
are
it
we
up.
not? But are we misgendering him?
Well,
her?
that's what I said. You know, when we did an interview with Alex, there was no pronoun that they used. It was they.
Okay,
and then their name.
So
Okay.
Alex, if we have used the wrong pronoun, we apologize profusely. So
Yeah.
from now on out, let's just use them and they as the proper pronouns, since we.
Okay.
But,
We want to be correct.
Great artists, great artists.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen them in that play. The one about the island. What is it?
Once upon this island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Alex played the witch. I think they played the witch.
He played the mother.
The mother.
The mother.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
also there's a video clip of Alex singing with the Gay Men's Chorus, and he does this. I'm just a black woman singing. Oh,
What Gay Men's Chorus? Which one? DC, New York? Oh,
I don't know.
I think it was a national Gay Men's Chorus, but and she sang the song that Lewis White is famous for singing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Turned it.
Well, have y'all seen the show that they're on? The one on ABC where the girl hears people sing?
Yes, it's the one about the playlist. Something.
Yes. And Alex is the neighbor.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Fierce.
Alex was also on Celebrity RuPaul's Drag Race too.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes.
Judging or singing?
Competing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the celebrity. So like RuPaul does, RuPaul's Drag Race. They have All Stars. And then they started this year where they did celebrities.
Yeah.
It was.
Did they win?
No, Alex did not win. Alex came in second, I believe, to if I remember correctly, I think it was Matt Eisman, who is a comedian, and everybody knows Matt Eisman as if you ever watched Clean House with Niecy Nash.
Yeah.
Matt Eisman was the burly kind of guy. Yes, so he did it. And then I can't remember. The third guy was some little pretty boy from like not Smallville, but one. What was the show after it was that teen show, Archie comic strips. Okay, but anyway, so it was one of the boys from there, some little pretty boy from there, Matt Eisman and Alex, and I think Alex was a strong second, if not first, but I think they looked at Alex as being natural in it, like getting up in it is like, oh, Alex does this all the time, and I think Matt's transition into drag was a greater transition, so it was more shocking. Matt got it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to what's hot, y'all.
Can I interject one thing real quick? Jamil, America Black, which is, we all know that's our friend Benny from Black America. He put up here saying that Megan Eggers' brother passed away this week also. So,
oh my God, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I see that here, which I did not know that either.
Actually, they were posted, it showed an interview of him sometime this week. So maybe that was connected to his death. Wow.
Right.
Wow. That's not good news. All right, well, real quick, we got a couple other items. Let's see, where are they? Let me go to them. And I'll get to them real quick. So we got the March on Washington, y'all, for...
Click it again.
August 28th. You see it?
Click it again.
I did. You see it?
Click it one more time.
Wait a minute, I just clicked it. Hold on. You see it?
No.
Oh, we don't see it. Well, anyway, we can't see that. So there's a National March on Washington, August 28th.
Now we see it.
Hey, Jerron.
Hi.
Jerron from LGBT Detroit, Hotter Than July. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. You're muted. Say something. Say something.
Give us a how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey.
All right, we got to laugh. That's cool, but
we can't hear you yet. Keep playing.
There we go. Now we.
All right. Welcome. Yes, we can.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Hopefully the people are watching this.
They are. We have it streaming live on Hotter Than July's page.
Oh.
And yeah. Hey, Yarday. That's my line.
Hey, my Adoni brother, how are you?
I'm well. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Blessed and highly flavored. Hallelujah.
Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, thank you. Now we're talking about what's going on. There's a couple other items I wanted to just draw attention to. So one of your sister organizations throughout the country at in the meantime in LA is doing health and wellness for August. So hopefully people can see that. Can y'all see that screen? Tell me yes, please.
Not at all.
Nope, click it.
But it hasn't come up yet. There's a slight delay, on Facebook. So hopefully folks can see that. It's our revolution. They're doing something in August, like they're all throughout is August. August is Black Gay Men's Wellness Conference. It's going to be interesting. And they're out in LA. But I would imagine this is going to be virtual. It says all sessions on Zoom and live streamed on Facebook. Oh, so we can participate.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yes.
Click the flyer again.
Yeah, it's there, but you can't see it live because there's a slight delay. It's not real time.
Well, we can see your whole screen. We can see everything on your computer right now.
Me? A whole me?
Well, we'll stop.
There it is. We're back.
You might want to be careful.
Okay.
Another.
It was all PG. It was all PG. Don't worry.
Of course, it's me. It's definitely P. It's G. It's not even P. It's G.
Okay, exactly.
Did you see these dimples?
Mm-hmm. That's what gave you away, honey.
I'm a Black gay man that's 55, so I've lived a certain kind of life.
Yeah, me too. That's why I tell children, don't scroll.
Look over there.
You got my phone? Please don't. You got my phone? Please do not scroll to the left.
No post, no moving stuff around. That's right.
Matter of fact, I'll hold it for you while you look.
Right. Just look.
Just look. Yep. I don't need you touching it.
You can touch it.
All right. Well, let's
Just not
go.
the phone.
I want to go to something. I'm trying to see where it is. Okay. There we go. So another item that we have that's hot is two of our co-hosts are launching another project here. So let's see if we can show that. It's called Regally Ratchet, right? Am I getting that right?
Got it.
All right,
Always
hold on.
Regal, sometimes ratchet.
Okay, let me kick it. All right. So give us the time. Oh Lord, the crowns. Mm-hmm. All the queens. I'm sorry. All the kings have crowns, not queens.
Okay. So we have a special announcement. Well, since we are actually officially doing the official launch in August. However, Jerron, I just sent you the link to that promo. if you, and we're doing this specifically for Detroit Black Pride. If you go to the link that Jerron is going to post, go to the Get You Some Productions page and subscribe. You will then be able to have a preview to our first show, which we have not announced. So it's only for those who are watching right now. If you go to the link that he is going to post for exclusive. I promise you, we are so excited. It's a great show. We have a lot to bring. Anything you want to say, L Train?
You know, I feel like you said a lot. That's pretty detailed. Yeah, like we're really excited. It's going to be a really cool podcast. It's audio for me, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of cool topics and things like that. And I think that people will be able to get into it. And we look forward to your support, but we also look forward to entertaining you as well. So,
all right, we look forward to that, to checking that out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And it's just an extension of what's going on through our community. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. All right, real quick. So I just want to share a couple things. You know, it's summer. And so in the summer, we like to read books. And so we got a few suggestions for you. You know, during this time of Black Lives Matter and empowering and us being socially conscious and being, you know, social justice, all the Black sort of civil rights leaders and liberals and political pundits are releasing books. So we got a couple we just wanted to highlight. So let's see if we can find it. Okay, all right. So we got Eddie Blood. Let me see, does that come up? Does that come up? Can y'all see it?
No.
Oh Lord, that's not coming up, but we're gonna skip that anyway. But he's got a great book, and Tiffany Cross has a great book as well. And Zerlina Maxwell has a great book as well. So we'll skip that part since that didn't work. Well, let's go on and talk about Hotter Than July, Jerron.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on. I know a lot of the prides they've canceled, of course, all the physical stuff. And then a couple of them have tried. I know DC Black Pride did something virtual. But what about you guys? What went into the decision? And then what's been the response?
So Hotter Than July is virtual this year. You won't see a gathering of more than about 30 people that will be live streamed over this weekend. Normally Hotter Than July runs from like a Tuesday to a Sunday. This year, because of our current reality with COVID-19, our board decided that we would rather engage in this Pride celebration virtually versus put our community at risk for exposure. And the response from the community, the response from our sponsors, from state and local government officials has all been positive. They agree. I'm sweating. They agree.
Sweating for?
It's hotter than July. It's hotter than July.
Well, we just got done. We just got done with 3 of our events being live streamed, and so that was the candlelight vigil we always start with. And so this being the 25th anniversary, we thought that we shouldn't do anything different. 25 years. We're the second oldest in the world, second oldest Black Pride in the world, and now the longest running Black Pride in the world.
Consecutive running.
Yes.
Consecutive running. Right. Right.
Second to Washington, D.C., because D.C. was the first, the mother of all pride.
DC was the mother, but I unfortunately this year due to COVID, they had to cancel and
but they did something virtual, so Earl may challenge you on that. So
well, it wasn't officially out. It was a piece.
I love Earl. It was a piece. It was a piece. But I'm not disillusioned that if it was hotter than May, we probably wouldn't have had as much time to put together what we're going to be bringing you this weekend.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what can we expect? What are the highlights? What's coming up?
Yeah.
All right. So today we had the candlelight vigil. Black Pride was started mainly because they came together to celebrate the fact that they had made it through another year without contracting HIV/AIDS and or dying, right? And then secondly, they came to mourn their dead. And so the candlelight vigil kind of serves that purpose today. Then at 7 o'clock today, 6 o'clock today, we had the Hotter Than July retrospective. You saw key contributors from these past 25 years together in one room talk about what it was to build Hotter Than July 25 years ago and what they expect or what they hope the next 25 years will be.
Oh, wow.
Right? And then we concluded, well, not concluded because we're still streaming. Our last event was the Marvin Lee Building. LGBT Detroit is North America's largest African-American founded and led LGBT nonprofit. And so we owe that part in thanks to a man named Marvin Lee. We have a campus on the west side of Detroit, 2 buildings, and right next to each other. And we acquired this building mainly through one gift from a man named Marvin Lee. And so we officially dedicated this building in his honor. He's still living. And we were able to show that. If you go to Hotter Than July's Facebook page, if you go to LGBT Detroit's Facebook page, if you go to lgbtdetroit.org, you can see what we did today.
That is so cool.
Well, that sounds like a swerve story, Jerron. That's a swerve story.
It's definitely a swerve story. Tomorrow, we have the Hotter Than July picnic. Normally, we have the Palmer Park picnic. This is where you see 10,000 people, 200 vendors, 2 sound stages, and an information stage. This year, because of COVID, we're taking it virtual. We have a courtyard in the back of one of our buildings. You'll see the performers. You'll see local talent. You'll see DJ Tony Peoples. You'll see DJ Romeo. You'll hear from Michigan Democratic Party Chair LaVorna Barnes. You'll hear from our Governor Gretchen Whitmer. You'll hear from my Aunt Sybil. Sybil will be performing live for Miss Don't Make Me Over.
Don't Make Me
Just
Over.
walk on
Right?
by.
Miss A&T.
She will be performing.
Okay.
Miss A&T. I'm an Aggie myself, so Aggie Pride. Aggie Pride. Aggie Pride. It's worldwide, right? So you'll hear from Sybil tomorrow, and then on Sunday we'll conclude with our Healing and Support Services Department. They'll be doing a live program on healthy relationships and mental health. We'll have our Hotter Than July worship service that will be live streamed. We'll have our Hotter Than July brunch. That's another uninterrupted activity. And then we'll conclude with the Hotter Than July recap. You'll hear from myself, from my executive director, Curtis Lipscomb, from Chris Impact Sutton, who's done a wonderful job in making sure that we look good, we sound good, and Akil Alvin. Those were our 2 production companies that we've worked with over this weekend.
Okay.
And so they've put a tremendous amount of work in making sure they were able to bring you quality content over this weekend, in spite of the fact of us not being able to gather like we normally gather.
And so how can people access this information from, is it through your website or is it on your Facebook page? What?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on our website, lgbtdetroit.org. It's on LGBT Detroit's Facebook page. It's on Hotter Than July's Facebook page. It's on both of our YouTube channels. It's even on Twitter. And so you can access us from around the world. And one of the things that we've been successful with during the time of COVID is our online programming. I do a show every Thursday night called the Brother to Brother Lockdown. And we've had viewers from all across the world tune in, talking, gay Black men talking to each other about how we're getting through COVID-19 together.
Absolutely.
And so I've not had one.
I've tuned in a couple of times, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you. We've not had one repeat guest. We have 3 mainstays and we have 2 guest slots every. Not had one repeat guest, and so the show stays fresh. We've had a leather kink fetish episode. We've had an episode for trans men.
Wow.
And so it's something new every single Thursday. So we're not new to the whole online programming thing, but you'll get something a little more than our regular weekly programming during this weekend of Hotter Than July.
Gotcha.
You
got any questions?
I want to say that I think you guys have been amazing with thinking out the box, especially during this time period. Jerron, I know that you are the brainchild behind a lot of it. It's been a pleasure to watch and see you do what you do. So I applaud you. I applaud LGBT Detroit because again, the things that you guys have been doing since COVID has hit has been great. Thursday nights is amazing. So if you have not, please do tune in.
So Thursdays, we got to look for that.
Thursday night at 8 p.m. we stream live on LGBT Detroit's Facebook page. It's called the Brother to Brother Lockdown. And so I have friends from all across the country. They're not just from Detroit. I have Tony Kristen Walker down in Alabama. I have Brandon Merriman Bodie, my partner. He lives still in North Carolina. I have Sir Shango Onyx up in Baltimore. And then I have 2 guest slots every week. And so this last week, I can't remember who I had, but I had somebody new.
Well, so, and you know, there's this argument out there still about whether Black prides are needed. And I know we had touched about it a little bit, but what are your thoughts about that? You know, as we sort of embrace this multiculturalism, are we doing that within the queer communities? And is there still a need for Black prides?
So I would argue, yes, there is still a need for Black pride. However, if we're going to continue to make that argument, we have to fully invest in the Black Pride program in your local area. We can't just show up to party. Black Pride should be a time where we come together to organize around our own interests, to let the broader community know what it is that we stand for and what it is that we want. And so if we just come to drink, smoke, and fuck, then we won't get too much accomplished, right? Those things are great. I love all 3 of them, right? But there has to be a precursor to those things while we're all in one room, right? If we're only in this one room once a year, regionally, once a year, we should be getting something accomplished.
So Jerome, real quick, let me ask you this then. What are, to get the most out of Black Pride, what are 3 things that people...
So I'll tell you about Detroit's Black Pride. It's community organized, right? And so anyone in the Metro Detroit area has the opportunity, has the space to come and join the planning committee, to give your input, to give your direction on how you think this year's Pride should be. If I'm giving you the opportunity and space to tell me how I should spend my organization's money, take it. That's 1. 2, learn the difference between Pride and circuit parties. There's a difference. 3, let's think.
Oh, wait a minute, before you go to 3, back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Give us a couple details for those who don't know. Educate people. What's the difference between a circuit party and a Pride?
So I sit in an organization called Center for Black Equity. Y'all know Earl, right? And so when all the Black Pride leaders get together, we're saying the same thing. We have the people in the city. They're not coming to Pride. They're going to the circuit party. They're not coming to Pride. They're going to the circuit party, which is great, right? Party promoters make a killing, but probably not 1 red cent is given to the actual Pride organization, right? And so my message to party promoters is, I'm your leader, right? Because you base your activities off of when I announce Pride is. So there should be some kind of partnership, some kind of communication between, the parties and the actual Pride organization to make sure that we can bring a holistic program to the community each year. But if the 2 are separate, there's not a coherent message given to the community.
Is anything being done on the back end to bridge that gap?
So again, I've only sat in the seat for a year. This is my second Hotter Than July. I come from North Carolina, and so I moved to Detroit last year to fill this role. I have been making
Midwest, by the way, welcome.
Thank you. You're from Ohio. Okay.
I know.
What part?
Columbus. I grew up in
my boyfriend's from Cleveland, but he lives in North Carolina. Yeah. But wait, what was the question again?
What was done behind the scenes to
bridging the gap. So again, my planning committee meetings are open. One thing that I did do this year, pre-COVID, was I did reach out to some of the party promoters and welcome them into our meetings. Unfortunately, because of our current reality, while there are some parties going on, it just wasn't a smart thing for my organization to be included in parties where people are not wearing masks, not social distancing.
Right, there may be some
Especially-
liability issues there.
Especially when, you know, my executive director sits on our governor's coronavirus task force for racial disparities.
Right. Responsible. Yeah, absolutely.
So I still welcome those opportunities when we're in a safer space to do that. I came to this role very open to work with any and everybody, just to make sure that we still have a space to be ourselves and to talk about issues that directly impact us, and to impact change in our own community.
Are you finding that people, during this heightened sense of social justice, are you finding that people are being more receptive and are more involved in the issues-oriented side of the prides?
So post-COVID-19, post-George Floyd, fortunately and unfortunately, we got a lot of attention, right? And I, in the age of COVID, raised at least $20,000 more than I did last year.
Wow.
I'm not disillusioned that some of this is white guilt money.
Whatever.
And so,
I'll take a thing.
But speaking of post, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
Oh, I was going to say my message to my sponsors and my message to people who have just showed up to support us. We appreciate you, but don't make this a trend. Don't go away when the headlines stop and when the cameras go away. Make this a habit. Be consistent in engaging with organizations, Black organizations, LGBT organizations, especially those that service people who walk in intersectionality, Black and gay. Be consistent. I'd like to see all of my sponsors come back over the next. They've been amazing. They have supported us in great numbers this year, and I couldn't be more thankful.
So you just mentioned post-COVID, and that kind of plays to my question. How do you visualize Hotter Than July and all Black Prides post-COVID, like 2021, 2022, moving forward? Do you see a big shift in how they'll be planned and how things are executed versus how they would be done in the past? Kind of more like a melding of what's happening now versus how it was done last year and years before that. What's your vision on that?
Well, that would really depend on how we're able to advance scientifically and medicinally in this pandemic. I just read an article the other day that says that they've been testing a vaccine that will give you immunity for 2 months, that would be available by Christmas. And so a lot of factors play into how Hotter Than July will look like. I know that this new way of streaming live our activities is more than likely a mainstay. We've had such good responses in just the hour and 50 minutes that we've done our last event online, and more than that, we've had such good responses from all of our other online programming. I think that this is something that we will continue to do, whether in person or not. But whether or not we gather in person will largely depend on how far we've come. And we're so thankful to our Governor Gretchen Whitmer, that woman from Michigan. We call her Big Gretch. She did not let right-wing protesters or people on the right in our state legislature push her around. She did what she felt was best for the state. And if you look at the impact of COVID-19 on each individual state in March versus now, Michigan has come a long way.
Yeah,
we've come a long way. We were one of the hot spots. Not so much anymore. Our numbers are rising up a little bit, but I'm thankful that our governor took action early, because you're seeing some states, especially in some of the southern states, where they haven't taken so much action, and people are getting sick. People are getting sick. I just had a discussion with someone the other day who lives in Atlanta, and they were talking about how they still go out to the club, go to the gym. And my thing to them was, if your mayor got infected, what makes you think you won't? You know, she probably has more resources than you do to avoid an infection. Why would you think you would be, you know, more fortunate than her to avoid it?
And she's been very conservative about the way to approach it. So clearly, I don't see her out there like doing anything necessarily reckless, and she's still, you know,
still
right,
became infected. Still, and our prayers are with her.
Talking about elected officials, I know you guys are very involved in voter education and registration. Can you talk about that and what you're doing to prepare folks for this election coming up?
So that's one of my favorite topics. The majority of my career has been spent in political organizing. With Obama for America for 3 years and with Hillary for 3.5 years. And so I came to LGBT Detroit with that already under my belt. We're so excited that back in February of this year, we opened our 501c4 LGBT Detroit Mobilization. And so for those that don't know, a 501c4 is a nonprofit that can endorse political candidates. And so that's spearheaded by Hotter Than July's Assistant Project Coordinator, Anthony Martinez. On the C3 side, we just won a $50,000 award from the ACLU to make sure that people in Southeast Michigan turn out to vote. And so what you'll see from us in the coming months are phone banking, voter registration. Our Secretary of State sent out mail-in ballots to every registered voter. We're going to be training you on how to fill that out and how to turn that in securely so that the vote is counted, right? And so we plan to be heavily involved politically, attacking it both from the C3 and the C4 side.
Yes, we got to get out to vote. We need to do a voter a rally, a virtual rally to vote, to get our people invested, because I think that there's not a lot of energy. There's not enough energy for me. I need to see yard signs and everything. So I need us highly motivated. So we ought to do a virtual rally, get out to vote for our communities.
I'm definitely down. Yeah, I'm down. Just call me.
We'll do it. We'll do it. And we'll get some celebrities and maybe some dancers to, you know.
I'd love to, you know. Come on, El Trey. we'll get El Trey to dance for us.
Any other questions from our
I dance the house down.
My co-host, any questions? You got anything you want to share with Jerron? No.
I say congratulations. Like, you all clearly have definitely made it an effort to continue everything going on, and your efforts are, you know, they don't go unseen. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that it's amazing that you all are where you are. I look, honestly, you know, just from talking to you now, I look forward to stepping foot in enemy territory. But no, I look forward to coming in to the Hotter Than July when it's not virtual. Like I look at it now as a destination, you know, in 2021 or 22, whenever like things open up a little bit.
Definitely.
And definitely checking it out, because I know I've been in Detroit and I've partied in Detroit before, and I know y'all get sick, and I like it. So I think that it would be a great place. So I just say congratulations. Thank you so much for what you
Thank you so much.
And continuing it on. And that's all
I want to say shout out to Curtis for being for being a leader and a visionary, to be able to bring on people with new ideas, you know what I mean, and expand what Hotter Than July is, and to make it stretch and be something bigger than what we thought it could be. because it's his foresight to be able to bring on people like you to be able to see a Pride virtually and say, guess what, we're going to do it. So shout out to Curtis for being a great leader and a great visionary. And thank you, Jerron, for bringing your talents all the way from North Carolina, all the way to Detroit.
Wow.
Thank you.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
Tony, did you want to share anything, Tony?
Well, no, I just want to congratulate him on a fabulous job that he's doing with Hotter Than July. I am inspired to I hope a lot of people are watching and feel the inspiration, the surge, the inside to get out and do something, because this is really, really, really a big deal. And I was reading about, all the things and the programs that you got going on for this weekend. And I was like, wow. So just to see a young Black brother doing my hat is off if I had one on. Why don't you tip your crown to him, fellas?
Thank you so much.
And we in Washington, D.C., I consider Detroit one of DC's sister cities, and we applaud you.
Absolutely.
I think I can speak for everyone in DC, all my entire audience that I host shows for. We applaud you. Great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, Jerron, tell us, how can we contribute? So if we're national, people around the country, is there a way for it that we can contribute financially to the organization?
Absolutely. Several ways. So if you go into lgbtdetroit.org/give, you're able to give that way. If you like Cash App, we are on Cash App at hashtag We Are LGBT Detroit. We're on PayPal at Detroit@lgbtdetroit.org. I would be remiss if I didn't announce all of those, as my executive director would have me to, because again, we've been very fortunate, and it almost feels surreal because we know that part of this is us making money at the expense of a man's life.
Well, I wouldn't put it that way. Don't put it that way.
Well, I have to be honest. I have to be honest about this. And so I know some of it is just people just now getting their attention.
That's
right. There are a lot of different factors to how people have been giving to us. And so we want to be able to continue the work that we're doing. And that largely depends on people who see enough in us to want to invest in this organization that we can impact the greater community.
I agree. I get it.
People are.
Well, I have family in Detroit, and I'm looking for. I've never been to Detroit, but I have family in Detroit, and I'm looking maybe next year I'll fly out. Maybe there'll be a gig for Miss What the Fuck. Who knows?
Ah,
are you familiar with Miss What the Fuck? Tony's a pioneer.
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll plug myself in the place I can.
That says it. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're going to close because I know you guys got something. Do you have something else after us this evening?
Oh, I don't have anything, but they're still out there having a good time. I just cleared out the room so that I could talk to you guys, and so they're having. I think they're watching on the TV.
Oh, good. Because we were going to close. We were going to close with this great video from a phenomenal artist that we love, named Carolyn Malachi, and she's got a piece called Sky, and it's very appropriate for the social justice issues in the circumstances that we live in. So we're going to show that, then we'll come back and we'll say goodnight. But we're going to show this video. Hang on.
Okay. Amen.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Keep talking. I gotta find it and get rid of it. Hold on. Keep talking.
Well, if I can, just remind everybody to tune in tomorrow from noon to 5 for the Hotter Than July virtual picnic.
Okay.
We'll again hear from national R&B recording artist Sybil. You'll hear from some local talent across the Metro Detroit area. DJ Tony Peoples, DJ Romeo. I believe Miss Honey will be there. If any of you are familiar with Miss Honey.
Miss Honey.
So tune. Yeah, Miss Honey.
All right. Here comes the video.
Okay. Okay.
the time is racing, I'll play my small part in the big solution. Here we go, changing the weather.